we have got Cham from Mexico.
Mexico.
That's right. Very good, Grant. Sounds practically native, I'll be honest.
I am.
We got two Exxon players playing in the Latin American division, as well as two Alpha X players, probably two of the most notable North American teams right now, Exxon and Alpha X. No surprises that they've got a handful of reps here. But Mexico, I'll be honest, is the most represented nation here in the Latin American tournament with 1, 2, 3, 4 players in this event. Only 3 Brazilians making it through this time.
That's impressive. I mean, traditionally Brazil and Peru are very successful in Latin America here as well from Cham, but TheZergLord has the upgrade advantage. It is just melee upgrades for Cham. TheZergLord has +1 range. So, I mean, this is a very scary push right now, Creighton.
A terrifying push indeed. No banelings here to soften up these roaches at all, and already a really good engagement here from TheZergLord. This timing going to be very strong, and we can see Cham building that spire, hoping to get to Mutalisks, but cannot afford to crank out those mutas. He's got to invest in roaches to try and hold this off. Now, Cham is ahead on drones, but honestly, the army supply looks so strong right now for TheZergLord. I think Cham getting caught a little bit by surprise here, not spotting this quite in time, and now TheZergLord is splitting up his army in a very unusual way here, going to eat a lot of damage to natural, and not getting as much done at the third as I thought he might. The drone kill count only at 2 right now,
but still so much.
TheZergLord, and with 70 army supply to 26, I just don't think these 8 Mutalisks are going to be quite enough from Cham.
He's going to take irreparable damage before that can happen. And GG, TheZergLord with a little bit of a cheeky upset.
Yeah, fingers crossed here as we step on to Light Shade LE, and let's see what TheZergLord has in store. Spawning. Oh, I spoiled it now. Spawning in the bottom right-hand side in the red from the bad. It is our Brazilian Zerg player, TheZergLord.
And his opponent in the top left, representing Team Exxon and Mexico. He is the blue Zerg player, the runner-up of Dreamhack Masters Latin America Fall. It's Cham. I don't know what happened for my keyboard to unbind. Oops. For my, yeah, it's unbound all of the camera spinning keys, and that really upsets me.
I just use insert and delete. I don't know what
you use. So do I, but at the moment it's changing songs on spot.
TheZergLord still chasing Cham down here, but Cham's able to dodge most of them. Looks like the Banelings not getting quite the kills they want. A lot of low health drones, but not enough.
So many lings.
So close here.
Yeah, Cham still has so many lings alive though, and there are a lot of very, very soft drones down in the natural, and this is what Cham wanted to do. He walked in, he moved around to the circle, and now he's going to try and pick off the queen and maybe go for a couple of these low drones as well. Queen does look like she's just about surviving. She will hang in there for now, and actually a very good defense in the end by TheZergLord. But Cham still cranking out lots and lots of lings at the other side of the map. 57 to 36 means Cham has really managed to look at the money that TheZergLord has. He was just sitting at 800 minerals for a minute.
Floating quite a bit there. I think he had a low larva count for a little bit, moving some of these queens out. Of course, he lost one queen earlier on, so that's going to throw off his macro just a little bit, especially in a ZVZ where you got to have those queens married up right next to their hatcheries to keep the production going and going and going, especially when both players going for Ling Bane play. The count of larva becomes so important, both in early game and even through the mid and late game.
Yeah, now roaches are being produced by both. TheZergLord is starting to even up that work account and maybe even pull ahead a little bit here. Both players are really starting to drone up, and it looks like we will be moving into a mid-game with roaches and ravagers butting heads. Roach speed on the way. So much.
Yeah, this is just a really nice timing from Cham again, seeing that his opponent was investing a little bit earlier into roaches and roach tech, and realizing that, hey, wait a minute, if I wait, if I hold back, if I save my money to get up more and more roaches, TheZergLord knows it. GG. Cham's getting inside, getting a gas first to sneak out that extra drone, doing the extractor trick from Team Exxon in Mexico. It is Cham. Now, Grant.
Mexico. Sorry, I was doing the mainstream guitar riffs, and we don't, so I thought I'd do them myself.
Just make your own up. That's just fine. Yeah. Now, Grant, talk about what Cham's doing here. We are going to see a hatch first opener from Cham, even sneaky in the extractor trick to get the extra drone out and keep this build smooth. Who does this build opener favor, and why is it TheZergLord?
It's definitely TheZergLord. So TheZergLord, of course, has gone for that early pull. He isn't sending workers across yet, but of course we would expect to see. Is he going to commit to this gas? Okay, so it is 6 lings. He will probably send a couple of workers as well, or is he going to expand? Paying off in the fact that it has so much hit points, but it's very soft and vulnerable in the future. Worker count, though, Cham very ahead. He can keep all of his workers down here on the low ground. He's, you know, the only thing he's lost out on is just moving them down here. And as a queen comes out and starts getting injects, this now becomes very, very difficult for the TheZergLord to macro out. He's going to have to make a lot of drones or commit very heavily to an attack. But his speed is not, you know, it's not much quicker than his opponent. Yeah, he's going to just make lings and keep them in the main now. Okay, so we're going to see the TheZergLord go for a massive, massive flood. Cham is making a lot of lings of his own. Actually, I think he might be thinking about doing something similar.
Yeah, a good read here from the TheZergLord, obviously. Pardon me, from Cham, actually, seeing what the TheZergLord's up to, seeing this many lings, and most importantly, seeing the TheZergLord lings stick around the natural for so long is a huge tell. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Why are you not going back home to defend? What if I had a run by going that you didn't see? What are you up to? You must have something back home to defend. Otherwise, you'd be a little bit more cautious with these lings. An Overlord dies to the Queen, by the way. That's a huge supply block for the TheZergLord right now. Not something you can afford to do, and especially since Cham's income has been so much larger than the TheZergLord's proportionally, you might be looking at it and be like, oh, it's only 5 drones. What's the big deal? Or 6 drones? What's the big deal? 7 drones? 7 drones? What's the big deal? But of course, 7 drones is
like 40%, right?
yeah, a massive percentage amount that I'm not going to do the math for. Link speed finished up for both players. That was it. Yeah, Cham just reading that.